we're gonna see if we can see if this is moving along. I'm posting live and see if we were gonna play around with something. We're gonna see if we can see if this is moving along. I'm posting live and see if we were gonna play around with something. We're gonna see if we can. Yeah, it's doing it. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just had to mute it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, but we're live and direct. See if people will say something. We're trying our different new techniques with the different options we have. We're opening up our YouTube channel. Our website's coming soon. So just a little administrative stuff. The website's coming. Of course, we're on all the podcast streams and on our YouTube channel, DMV's Order Up. That's what it do. That's what it is. We are excited about everything that's going on. This is our 18th show of season 1. Can I get a
wow?
Yeah.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Molly Mar was talking to me a couple of weeks ago, and he said, I mean, well, you can give your feedback on what you said, man. You live and direct.
I called Ray to let him know that he was doing a great job as a host. I was listening to a show where he was interviewing my mother, actually. And I was just saying how he was doing a great job as being a host. He was feeding off of the guests, asking them pertinent questions and relaying what the guest was talking about back to his own life. And he did it in such well-spoken and well-rounded format. It was great. So if you're just listening to the show for the first time, I advise you to go back and start off with episode 1 and listen to all of them. These two brothers will definitely teach you something and give you some food for thought. So they are doing a great job, and I'm honored to be here.
Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate
it. Indeed. I agree with everything that Marlon said.
But I would add a corollary to that. Me and Marlon took 11th grade geometry together. I'd add a corollary to that, and I think I got kicked out of the class, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I was
not gonna say why.
But anywho, Reggie is the yin to my yang in this thing. If I've got energy, it's because of this brother. You know, we feed off each other. We really have a good balance in the discussion, and we're not yesing to each other. We have our opinions, and we cool with it, and we cool with each other, and it shines through on the show. So I'm excited to have him as my partner in crime, doing this thing, man. I
appreciate you, bro.
I really enjoy him being part of it. So with that being said, let's get to our first topic. The Washington Commanders. If you notice what I said Commanders this go around. I didn't call them Commodores because they earned it this week. It wasn't pretty, but
yeah,
that's how they play. I see things form, and I think, was it 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago when I said let's see where we are in 4 weeks, ready?
Yeah, yep.
We're about at that checkpoint.
We're about at that checkpoint. Tyler Heineke took over about then. Yeah.
So he's 1-3. He's 3-1.
3-1 since he took over.
Yes. And we're just about at the midpoint of the season too. So that's another reason we wanted to have Molly Ma on the show, because we had our predictions going, and we've had a progression with the team in the NFC Beast. They're 5-5 now, right? They're 500 team, right?
They're 500 team
in the best division in football.
Right.
The toughest division, I'll say. The division with the most wins. I don't know if it's the best. That's all relative, but it's, I take pride in the NFC, and they call it the NFC East Beast
this year
because they getting it, but they was a laughing stock the last 10 years.
The last year, 10 years, they was the NFC least.
Yeah.
You ain't never lied.
That's what they were calling the division, like the last 10
Yeah.
years. The NFC.
Yeah, the last 10 years. So nobody, including yours truly, had the team winning.
Right.
I think you got some background. Maybe somebody has the YouTube up or something, but you got it up muted. But nobody had us winning the game. So I got family in Philly. As a matter of fact, my nephew usually comes over. That's from Philly. My nephew usually comes over, and Scott Mays. Shout out to Scott Mays, athletic director at DC Kip in Anacostia. And he usually gives me hell. We watch basketball, football, and stuff, and we usually watch the Philly games together. But he couldn't make it over that night. And I was tired, man. I was tired. It had been a long weekend working on schoolwork, proposals, things of that nature. And it was cold. The chill had come on because I had set up everything outside. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I got the heat lamps out here. If folks want to come over, we can run the jacuzzi one last time before I take it inside or break it down. And man, after I ate, because I've been fasting, so that's my meal time. I ate a hearty meal, and one of my neighbors called me up and said he's gonna come over. I was like, man, nah, man, not tonight. Man. And I'm glad I didn't invite nobody over. I'm glad nobody showed up. Man, I was like tired, and I really wasn't up for watching the game. But I sat down in the bedroom and turned the fireplace on, and I think I posted on Facebook, why am I even gonna watch this game? That's kind of where I was with it. I was like, Philly is clicking on all cylinders. We're a dumpster fire. But then but when I called my nephew Scott before the game, and everybody I talked to before the game, I was like, you know what? Anything can happen in football. Anything can happen in the NFC East. I've seen division rivalry games and people get up for it. But there's so many subplots to this game and underlying stories, where I think Philly looked at it was a trap game for Philly because everybody on the media, talk radio here, Philly, nationally, it was like, we want to see what Heineke's going to do. He's a feisty dude, but Philly they just bad. But then people were like, but Houston exposed them last week with the run game. So Marlon, Reggie, you can chime in. You know how we feel about the offensive coordinator, and y'all can chime in. What's your feelings about that Bama? Because I don't like him.
You go here, Reggie.
Well, of course, our listeners, if they've been listening, they clearly know I do not like Scott Turner as our offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
To Ray's point about Philly being in the trap game, they were 10.5-point favorites. I mean, so it was, they were at home. It was like no way they could lose going into the game. But to Ray's point, the NFL, that's why we say any given Sunday. And especially when you're dealing with division games, they're different because they're very familiar with one another. So anything can happen. And we saw that Monday night. No criticism of the Commanders for Monday night. It was a outstanding performance, team effort, win. But for those, we look at Tyler Heinicke, he's 3-1 in his last 4 starts. But I still believe I still think there's fool's gold there in the sense those wins have come against teams that have been subpar. outside of the win Monday against Philadelphia. They beat a 2-4 Bears team. They beat a 3-4 Green Bay team. And they beat a 3-4 Indianapolis team. Right? So those are teams.
And they pulled what I say, not to interrupt you, but to interrupt you. They pulled defeat from the jaws of victory.
Exactly.
With
Terry McLaurin in the Colts game, was it?
No. The last game they played,
the Vikings game.
They lost that one, because he is who he is. That's you live and die with who he is,
right?
As a quarterback,
right. So the 3 wins outside of the Philly game, they were against losing teams. I still think, it was a great performance Monday night. Take nothing away, but I'm still not convinced. I still think it's fool's gold. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate to be. I'm not intentionally trying to be negative. I'm just being honest in my perspective. I still think it's fool's gold. But we'll see. With all being said, they're still only 500, 5-5.
And they in the hunt. That's the crazy thing. That's how much parity it is.
I don't think really for the division. They're 4 games out. Philly's first in the division, right? So they're 4 games out.
But realistically,
it's still 7 games left.
Mm-hmm.
So mathematically, yes, they're in the hunt. We'll see.
So they got so Marlon, what you got on it?
Yeah, so I would say they definitely won't win the division, but they are in the hunt for that last wild card spot. With 7 games left. So I'm not gonna bury the lead. I definitely agree with you, brothers, when you say fool's gold. It's still fool's gold. But what I don't agree on is when Ray said it was an ugly game. This was actually their best game. It was a couple of mistakes in there, but it was their best game. Let me tell you why it was a beatdown. Commanders had the ball 40 minutes and 24 seconds to the Eagles 19 minutes and 36 seconds. Ball control. But I will say this. On most of the Eagles scoring drives, like in the first quarter, they scored in 51 seconds. And then they also scored in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 2 touchdowns, where the Commanders fumbled after 1:48. Their first drive was a touchdown, took them 7 minutes and 21 seconds. And then the second drive, the third drive in the first quarter was a field goal, took them 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So their best defense was their offense. They kept them boys off the field. Those boys are machines, and they kept them off the field. And let me just throw out 2 more stats while I'm looking at it. Here's another reason why we won. A.J. Brown, 1 catch, 7 yards. He's a beast. Now, I admit he did get hurt at some point in the game.
Yes, he got
hurt at some point in the game, but he came back in. If you step on that field, you accountable.
Okay.
So he came back on the field. 1 catch, 7 yards. Devontae Smith, 6 catches, 39 yards. He torched us the last time. That's the game right there. And the time of possession. To me, that's the game right there. So I don't think it was a bad or sloppy game. I think it was actually their best game. And I definitely agree with everything y'all said about Scott Turner. He gets on my nerves. But for the first time, he actually stuck with the run. I didn't think that they would stick with the run because they were popping off 3 yards, 2 yards, 4 yards, and he stuck with it. He stuck with it. You know how many 3rd and 1s they were in? They were in like 12 3rd and 1s. That's unheard of. I mean, 5 or 6, no, 5 or
20, right? I think they
5 or 6 3rd and 1s. Let me not throw the wrong number out there. It was like 5 or 6 3rd and 1s, but altogether, I think 3rd downs, and they converted. Yeah, they converted most of them, so they actually did good. So I think this was their best game. So
I think so too.
Still though, I'm still riding with y'all fools gold because man, you just can't trust Taylor Heineke. He played good, but man, he had his Taylor Heineke moments. But I just don't think he's good enough in the long haul. So I mean, 7 games, we'll see.
Here's my defense. We won in spite of Taylor Heineke. What I saw, and after I looked at some of the post-game stuff with the team, so you had the layers of, I think this was the first game after the coach's mom died, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Ron Rivera. Yeah,
Ron Rivera's mom passed, and condolences go out to
to the Rivera family.
So I think they rose up for him. They played for Coach, and they played for his mom.
That's a good point.
Taylor Heineke had a 63% passer rating, and we still won. We turned the ball over 3 times. You don't win with a 63% passer rating and turn the ball over 3 times. Unless, 2
turnovers.
2
to Philly's 4.
Let me finish. With those turnovers, with a 63 passer rating and 2 turnovers, you don't win against Philly. Our skilled players at every position except quarterback played out of their freaking minds. He was putting them balls, if they were in their catch radiuses, they were getting them. And Scary Terry, hands down.
He's a dog.
He's a dog. Him and that dude in Minnesota are the 2 dogs in the NFL.
Justin Jefferson.
They are the 2 dogs in the NFL right now. They balled out. Now, 40 minutes is unheard of. That's classic Joe Gibbs football right there. And they had a 2-headed monster run game with
Robinson, Gibson,
and Gibson, yeah. And they stuck to it, and they played the play action off of it. They didn't roll him out as much as I thought they would. They still were doing the 3 to 5, 7 drops, but they were getting the ball out of his hands quick. But Philly still almost came back and won. And that's why I say it's ugly, because our corners are exposed. And they got pressures. They were opportunistic. They got 4 interceptions, and they turned them over. But they still got behind them. You know what I'm saying? And they still beat them. Just like we beat them in big plays, they beat us. It's just that they turned the ball over more, and we held it longer. I think if they'd have got that ball back, they'd have won that game. Because they were moving at will when they had the ball. But Hurts took too many risks that night. You know what I'm saying? Because he thought, the film is out there on our corners and our safeties. You know what I'm saying? They bite. They will take the double hitch. They will get beat. But they all played really well in every facet of the game. I mean, the punt, the field goal kicker, 58, 51. He ain't kicked nothing under 45. I think he was a player of the week. And we've had our special teams players have been the player of the week the last 2 weeks. Our punter from the other game, and then our field goal kicker from this game. He banged that jump from 58 yards. And it's a momentum thing. And they took it to their chest. And they punched them in the mouth. And it was all in the run game. And it was because, their key receiver that was balling out was hurt. Yeah. Marlon, to your point, if they're on the field, they should play. But he played hurt as a decoy.
He has a decoy. I think he had a hammy. It looked like he had
pulled up on that hammy. Yeah. He pulled
and that happened actually in the first quarter.
Play. Yeah,
in the first quarter.
Series,
so
I think.
Yeah.
But and their key defensive run stopper was out for Philly. And we did what we were supposed to. We exploited that.
Right.
That's what good teams do. They exploit your weaknesses.
Exactly.
But Philly, they still almost came back, man. What was the final score? I mean, that humble
final score was 32 to 21.
But it was 21-26.
Yeah, you take off that 6 at the end because that was on the fumble on that tricky play.
Trick play with no time left.
Yeah, you can take off 6 right there.
Yeah, but that was a close game, and they were coming and they were scoring in quick. Really get down that field, like, because what do? What does Jack Del Rio do? Play that damn prevent. You know, he blitzes a lot statistically, but at the time that he really need to bring the thunder, he don't. And why do you think they do that? Because them corners
they will be exposed. I mean, they would really be on the island if he's trying to hide them. He's trying to shore them up a little bit.
There is a lot to shore up with that, you know. There's a lot to shore up with that, but I'm happy. I mean, Victory Tuesday. I mean, it was national TV. It was a statement game. We won convincingly. You know, we won convincingly. Ugly, but convincingly. You know, I mean, when I say ugly, I mean we can't never you ain't gonna never see us beat nobody like Kansas City. That's our formula. Grind, grind, grind. You still gonna have a chance, but we gonna grind it out. And we can't sustain success like that because you're going, you know, the parity's gonna happen. We ain't had nobody really, really hurt yet. You know what I'm saying? We at the 10th game, 11th game, and we ain't got no major injuries. We had some hammies here, that, but in our key players, you know, if our running backs go down, and that boy's a freak.
Robinson, I assume. Yeah.
You see that extension and just, I'm not going down. I'm not going to collapse. He just carried Bama's over the and these are not little men.
Yeah.
These are linemen and linebackers that was hitting them, and he's dragging over the goal line. That made me feel good. That took me back to that era that we all grew up in. So, you know, that was cool.
99's back Sunday.
Huh?
99 will be back.
It's
on
official.
Sunday.
It's official.
That's what I've heard.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. What's your take on that, Bo?
Oh, for 99 coming back?
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think he's going to be on a pitch count. Absolutely. Most likely. I'm really interested to see how many snaps he takes. But I'm excited to see him, though. Hopefully they've been getting in a good practice because they've been looking good without him. You know, I heard a stat that they were number 1 the previous week for run stop. So they playing as a cohesive unit. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that continues. But one more thing, as far as stopping their big plays, you know, we good for giving up a big play.
Right.
The longest play they allowed was that 50-yard catch that ended up being a fumble. If that wasn't a fumble, most likely they do go in and score, and it's 28-26 maybe at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 6 minutes left. If they would have scored, it's possible we could have still came back and got a field goal. Possible. But they definitely probably would have went up at that point. But the only other plays they had, the longest passing play they had were 15 yards. Out, if you know, that was a 50-yarder. It was a fumble, so it don't count for them.
Right.
But the stat is they
got behind them.
That was it. So, you know, this was their best game all around.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think so.
Absolutely.
They took the lead.
Yeah, it's the scary part to me is that Philly just scored so quick.
Yeah, boom.
As good as his defense is looking, Philly was just scoring quick.
And here's what I want to see.
I think they would have wiped us out.
And then I want to get into my prognostication. Here's what I want to see. The end of the season, where we stand from a number standpoint. And I want to hurry this up. It looks like I'm running out of space on the hard drive. So what do y'all think? Where do you think we're going to end up?
You're talking about wins and losses?
Wins and losses.
Just to sum up everything, real quick, Marlon, I agree. I think it was the best performance. They took the lead in the second quarter and they didn't relinquish it. That was fantastic. But to the point, with all that being said, they're just 500, 5-5.
Mhm.
We've had these euphoric moments in the past where they've won games that we didn't think that they would win. This is not totally new to us. We've had euphoric moments every season almost. At the end of the day, they're facing what is the norm, a potential 500 record and backing into the playoffs. So Ray, I would say they're around 9-8, probably 8-9, and potentially backing into the playoffs, which is exactly what they have done the last decade.
20 years. Yeah.
So with that all being said, that's no improvement at all. It's mediocrity, and we need to stop accepting mediocre, right? We need to stop accepting that, because we came up in an era where a division title, winning the division wasn't good enough.
Right.
Making the playoffs wasn't good enough.
Right.
This is the era that we came up in, right? We didn't celebrate winning the division. We didn't celebrate making the playoffs.
We didn't celebrate until we were hosting
holding the Lombardi Trophy, right? So
going
now,
up to Georgetown and throwing bagels.
Right.
Bagels, yeah.
So now
Watching them dudes flip cars.
We've been reduced to celebrating 8-9, the 17-game season now, 8-9, backing into the playoffs as a wild card just to lose the first game.
But what I see in this group is, and they're young, I see fire in the captains now. I see Terry McLaurin. Did y'all see his statement? Post-game speech.
Well, he's a dog.
Yeah.
He's a
but he's been
dog.
quiet, but he just goes out there and do what he do.
Right.
But now he's being vocal.
Expressive. Yeah, and expressive. Yeah.
And that's what I like. Because
that's what leadership needed.
Leadership, but that's confidence. And we got a quote on confidence, don't we?
Yeah.
From the man himself, right?
The man himself.
Yeah, the man himself gives us confidence.
Do not allow my confidence to offend your insecurity, because I dress like I dress because I'm confident. I look like I look because he's confident. We walk like we walk because we're confident. I don't even use cologne. Now, somebody asked me, what is that you're wearing? I say, confidence.
Coach Prime.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And that's what I see in this team. I'm hopeful, but I'm a realist too. We still got New York twice and the Cowboys to end the season. That's our division games. We split with Philly, and at best we can split with Dallas. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know what New York's gonna give us.
The one we really want out of anyone.
Yeah.
The Dallas one.
And we play Houston this week, and then we play the Browns next week with your boy coming back.
He probably will be back. Most likely he'll be back. Deshaun Watson.
I just want him to get him. I mean, we got dogs, man, on that line, man. We got dogs on that line. So I'm going to make this an abridged show. I'm going to kind of cut this show short, because we're going to go into other topics on other shows, and we're at like 30 minutes right now, and I think we've done a good job to speak to it. So I think we're 9-8, maybe 10-10. Super awesome. 10-7.
10-7.
If they get on a run, which can happen. But I think we're 9-8 as well.
All right, let me give you my two sides to the coin. Hey, Reggie.
Yes.
That 12-5 is still alive, bro.
Mathematically, it is, right?
All right, though. But the other side of the coin, Ray, I'm with you, like 9-8. Like 9-8. Yeah. I'm hoping for 9-8.
Yeah.
But it's probably going to be, like you said, Reggie, like an 8-9. But I'm hopeful for 9-8.
Right. Well, 8-9, 9-8 is still
it's
average.
Mediocre. It's mediocre. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fool's gold.
It's fool's gold.
Fool's gold.
And then you have all that. You still have the dumpster fire going on with the ownership stuff. So, It is what it is, fellas.
Hey Ray, do you want put me to put my proposal about the ownership situation out there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You most definitely can. You got 3 minutes.
I'm saying to Mr. Snyder, I'm giving him a personal invitation for me and him to square up, right? And if I win, he sells the team. And my promise to all you Commander fans is, I guarantee that Mr. Snyder will take a L.
Yeah,
We love it.
Snyder.
Pay-per-view, put some money in your
Gauntlet has
pocket.
been laid down.
Guaranteed. He taking an L.
Look, Mr. White wants it that bad. He wants it that bad for he's willing to fight for ODC. Are you?
Do it. I'm willing to do it.
I don't talk like that, do
He's
you?
desecrated.
I don't.
He's desecrated the thing that's precious and sacred to us. He's desecrated it. He's turned it into a laugh, which was what was honorable is now a laughing stock.
Yeah. But not for long, because they trying to run him out of town for shizzle.
Byron Allen.
Yeah.
That's who I hope.
I would love an African American owner, because that's the only way we're going to fix the coaching and the general manager positions. It's through African American ownerships, in my opinion. The Rooney Rule, with all due respect, is not going to fix this problem.
It's not going to fit this problem. Yeah. But with that being said, that's a topic for another show, with us empowering each other. So we're gonna hit it on that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna let this thing ride on out, because like I said, we got 18 shows in the book. I gotta clean this board up, man. The disc is full. So I want to appreciate y'all. I want to tell you I appreciate you guys for tuning in and taking the time to give our mid-season review of the Washington Commanders. I can call them that this week, y'all. The Commanders, because they whipped Philly's ass, y'all. All right now. Fellas, appreciate you. And I'm glad that you were here with us on Order Up. All right, man. That was it.
That was good. Thanks for having me, y'all. Appreciate it. Man. That was a good show.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, I looked over the thing. It was a note on the thing. It said, your disc is about to full up.
So you have all of your other shows on there?
I've deleted some, but some of the shows have been pretty full. And I think it's because the way I got it set up. And I think I did something when I was trying to mess with it to bring your mother's voice up, and I think it's like a multi-track thing now. And I don't know how to change it back.
You recording at a higher bit rate or something, maybe?
Yeah, and I'm still live on Facebook. So don't say that.
Thank you for telling us.
Yeah, thanks for letting us know.
YouTube or whatever it is.
I was about to talk about that dude from high school.
He's about to get us in some trouble.
Yeah, so we can sign off.